Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this key 80 entitled Practical Awakening. Today we're gonna focus on love. Love with a capital letter, okay? It's not love like emotions, like to be in love with someone, okay? This is a theme, topic that I evoked and I treated in the key 60. For which I really recommend. It's quite rich. There are a lot of tips, a lot of advice regarding this notion of couple, of marriage and so on. For the simple reason that apparently we need to be creative for many things, but especially within this, okay? So there are a lot of, to open up your field of consciousness and also the field of love as well. And for the simple state and statement that actually 50% of the couples finish by divorce in Western countries. What does it mean? It means that apparently it doesn't work as it is now. So the goal is to try to give you some maximum of techniques, tips, advice, humble advice, okay, to try to preserve or to find the proper person and to fit and to be together as long as you want, as long as you consider this importance. It's not neither what we're gonna talk about love today is not the act of loving, that to say to make love, sexuality. This is same a topic I evoked and I really invite you to watch it, this video, because it's really rich as well. This is the key 59, no, not 69, no, 59. Well, in the course, in miracle, okay, and in a lot of spiritualities, there are two essential pillars regarding energies. There is the duality with two energies managing the world and the universe. Love and fear. It's not hate, hatred, and so on. No. This is a consequence of fear. Okay, concretely, high vibration, low vibration, unity, love, and separation, fragmentation for fear. Okay, most of time, this fear is the fruits of a lack of love and or the fear to lose it. Okay, by anticipation or by reaction. I suffered, so I hate people, I'm afraid to find someone else, and so on. Not only for couple, I love a friend of mine and then I've been disappointed and so on and so forth. So now I'm fear and I'm completely blocked and I close the door, for example, or for charity, for everything. Okay, so one thing very important, because I say duality, unity, love, and let's say separation and fear. This is the first advice, every event, every situation, every encountering, every time you meet someone new or that you know, try, or a decision, whatever, try to figure out like this. I am in the heart or in the mind. I am in the fear or in harmony. I am in the love or in the fear. Okay, so in the unity and or in the separation. Systematically take it as a habit. Well, let's try to clarify a little bit what could be this notion of love with the capital letter, which is unconditional love, for which I will redefine, clarify. Unconditional love is a type of love that is free from condition and limitation. Concretely, it means that it is unconditioned and without any expectation and demands in return. What for? What's the purpose? What's the reason of being of this? And the field of, let's say, application, concretely, is to free yourself from low vibration. Okay? Hatred, resentment, bitterness, and so on and so forth. Okay? Low vibration. And on the other way around, to rise, of course, your vibration, and which is for ascent, okay, to ascend and to radiate. Love, light and love with capital letter are synonyms. It brings happiness, is one of the four the most and more powerful hormones of happiness, which is oxytocin. Oxytocin, it is what you receive as an hormone of happiness with sexual orgasm, okay, sexual climax, and also when you do charity, when you share things and so on. Okay, so it gives you this this feeling to belong to something larger, bigger than your small egoic prison. Well, it allows thereby to be healthier, because otherwise it's affected by the somatization, low vibration, hate, and so on. Basically, it's dissonance. It's created by placebo, I heal, nocebo, I am nefast against myself. It means this in Latin. Okay, so we are what we think. Okay, it's on this. This is epigenetics. Okay, so what is it concretely? To love unconditionally, without any expectation in return, and no comparison. No comparison is exactly as if someone has different kids, different child. Normally, they love them in the same intensity, is the same. Okay? It's accepting people how they are, and not to change them, to shape them, and or to impose conditions. Okay? For freedom, friendship, and so on. Unconditional love is linked to altruism. Alter in Latin means other. Okay, to focus on people and not egoistic way. Okay, this is also let's say selfless. Okay, love is not necessarily to love with the same intensity everybody. Okay, it is to tolerate. When I'm talking about that, is for extreme murderers, rapers, and so on, dictator. Okay, of course, is to tolerate, is to have compassion, and it is to accept them and to be peaceful with that. Okay, to be appeased towards them. Doesn't mean that you appreciate them, like neo-Nazi, hooligans, all these extreme cases. Don't necessarily want to love them in a certain extent. There are different layers of love. The first one, and we will insist, is to love yourself. Then your family, let's say your friends, your collaborators, your relatives, people in general, politicians, public figures, and beyond of that. This is also Epicureanism. Okay, what does it mean? It means the little pleasure of life. Okay, activities, sport, good food, nature. Yeah, you know, when I'm grateful most of the time with the rice field like this, I say I love you, Mother Earth. Okay, I take a flower and I kiss the flower. Sometimes I just say I love you, or I hug a tree. My son is doing exactly the same now. He's 2 years and a half. And in general, or I say I love you, a dog that I see on the street, or a cat, and so on. And this is unconditional love. It will never return in back. I mean, in his different way, but and there is an energy when you give love. I mean, you receive love as well. We receive what we emit. Beyond, it can be also, I don't know, to love a glass of water, soda, a glass of wine, whatever, what you like, food, sunset, to meditate, to like to a series, to love a sport, as a player, as a spectator, to love to learn, for example, to love to do self-development, to love spirituality, and to learn more, to invest yourself into a passion, and so on, to love loving, for example. Yeah, loving, meeting people, for discovering new human, let's say, beings, to have human adventures, to love human in the absolute. Personally, I say many times, yes, I love people. I love people in general. Okay, not all of them, of course. I mean, I try my best, but as I told you, I tolerate, but I have no conflict with anybody on this planet. Even the worst of the worst, I don't have any animosity against them. So I'm free of bad energy in a certain extent, if you see what I mean. Divine love, for me, corresponds to the sum of all this. For me, it is the quintessence. It is, let's say, the cement of the the social, the societal, the universal building of life, of the living. Okay? It is loving in the absolutes and loving absolute, okay, God, the living, from the profane to the sacred, from the gross to the subtle, from the material to the spiritual, okay? This is a gecko, and when we say here, there is tradition, this is a kind of lézard. When he's doing that, it means that we are saying the truth, okay? So, as the symbol of the cross for Jesus, for the Christian, actually it doesn't mean the torture for Christ, because it would have been a T. It's like this, it means horizontal alignments and vertical alignment. Vertical alignment means the link with spirituality, the invisible world. And this horizontally means the alignment with materialistic. Okay? Let's say when you like things like food, like sexuality, and so on and so far, okay, it's part of life. And we are here, we incarnate in the low vibration of density to honor all this and not to reject. Some people, they say, oh, it's the matrix and so on. But not at all. I mean, it's part of a matrix, a kind of matrix, but it's a grid. It's just encountering. But actually, it's not bad. It's up to us to, it's up to us to transmute or not. You know, we say, the beauty in the eyes of those who see it, but the contrary is true. The darkness in the eyes of those who see it, who gaze at it. Well, this is the notion of polarities, and complementarity as well. You know, I'm gonna go further to love loving and to love the positive and the negative. What does it mean? It means that you like a movie without any twists. Okay, so it's like super flat. No, we love problems because we love solving them. Okay, it's a bit tricky, but it's the human natures. Okay, so you know lots of irreproachable individuals. Personally, I don't know the perfection on earth. It's not human, it's divine. Okay, so I don't know anybody. Do you know perfect couple? There is none. Okay, loving in the absolute means that I love to is character, because sometimes we have arguments with my friend and so on, but I love even when we are upset. You know, it's a bit like when you like let's say the black sides of someone, for example, and this is really loving in the absolute. Like loving also nostalgia, loving, a gray sky. Okay, I come from north of France, for which I used to see the sun just 1 week per year. I exaggerate, of course. But yeah, I appreciate, let's say, the blue sky, because I know that it's not eternal. Those who always have a blue sky, they don't see it anymore. It's part of normality. You know, happiness is some, let's say, sadness, which take a rest. But the contrary is true as well. So if you always have the sun, you don't see it anymore. To admire the beauty of the rainbow, you need both sun and rain. This is a metaphor, meaning thereby that, yes, we can appreciate a nostalgia, a spleen dimension. Okay, spleen means really nostalgia. You know, when you go to Paris, for example, Montmartre, in the north of France, Paris, sorry, when it's the sky is a bit dark, white, it's more romantic, for instance. You see? So, I remember in Mexico, I lived there 3 months in 2003. I remember on the screen of the computer, they had sky with white sky, you know, because for them it was really romantic, very beautiful. Well, you know, it's the fact that even crying can give you, we can love crying, okay, because it's good for health. You know, because after that you have a compensation. You know, the kids when they do and then they oxygenate the brain, and then they feel released. It's the same when you have the archetype of the pajamas ladies parties, and they are at home and they watch movies and they cry and they have Kleenex and they eat ice cream and so on. This is because there is a pleasure with that. Okay, so appreciating, loving everything can be also loving certain difficult moments. You know, the gods, the source, the creator knows the backstage. Okay, he knows the backstage and all what we don't see around. Okay, he has the big picture of the masquerade. So, because everything is an experience, and we are here to experience with the contraries. We really know the true self, the true I am, with the experience of what we are not. Okay, so that's why it's important to embrace life, the living, and all the experiences. You know, the divine love, in a certain extent, is the expression of the living God, and the materialization, practical, okay, with the essence, by sharing, because it's contagious. Okay, it's like a bottle of champagne. Nobody think about drinking a glass alone, a bottle alone. Okay, the bubbles don't have the same taste when you share it. The happiness is even, let's say, more intense, deeper when it's shared. That's a matter of fact. And this is, by the way, one of the very important sentence in the movie Into the Wild. Shams Tabrizi, the great Sufi who highlight the light, the Rumi's light, the great Sufi, he said the following, I quote 3 times. Hell is not here, hell is in the here and now, just like the sky. Stop worrying about hell or dreaming about heaven when they are they are both present in these very moments. Every time we fall in love, we ascend to heaven. Every time we hate, envy, we fall straight into hellfire. Concretely, for him, paradise is when you are in the unity, when you love, and hell is not after hereafter, is not afterlife. It is now. It's just here and now. Is when you hate, when you separate. This is exactly what I explained with 2 energies, love and fear. Okay, basic. The second one is the path of truth is a work of the heart, not of the head. Make your heart your first guide, not your mind. Overcome your limitation with your heart. Knowing your ego will lead you to the knowledge of God. He says also, intellect connects people in knots and risks nothing. But love dissolves all entanglements and risks everything. The intellectual is always cautious and advised, be aware of too much ecstasy, while love say, go ahead, dive in. The most important advice today, the first person to love is you. You. Without falling into narcissism, navel-gazing, of course. But first to the acceptance, to welcome the loan, what you have been given, okay, because you asked. There is a contract, a soul contract, and in parallel, physiologically speaking, there is a will behind your birth, because you have 1 million of ovula and billions of spermatozoa. So at the end, you won already the lottery. So there is a recognition through that, to be grateful with that, and because it could be worse. And in parallel of that, if you don't like, you can work on you. If you can improve yourself, this is what we saw, introspection, okay, different techniques with the key 81 and 82, okay, it takes time, it's requires investment, because it takes time, and also involvement, okay, and will. And also there are many techniques with books, with videos, with specialists and so on. So those who don't do the job, they don't want, we have to accept that, but let's say we need to clean up and to establish a good foundation and healthy foundation to build up yourself. Okay, so but the most important is to love yourself. Shams Tabrizi, again, he say, if you want to change the way the others treat you, you must first change the way you treat yourself. Until you learn to love yourself fully and sincerely, you can never be loved. When you get to this point, however, be grateful for every sown and others can throw at you. This is the sign that soon you will receive a shower of roses. Well, personally, I love myself. Okay, it's strange to say that for a lot of people. It's very rare, but I invite you to work on you, to know your skills, your let's say your positive side and your dark side as well, and to work on it, and to be always in the self-improvement, self-analysis, but at the end to be at peace, to appreciate yourself. Once again, is the fruit also of a work which is required for the practical awakening. So, I would love that most of people, I mean everybody, could say that. But once again, not selfish, hashtag I love myself, and I take selfie everywhere. Not at all. And by the way, the only time I took some selfie was when I was alone during 48 hours in the desert in Jordan. Okay? So, how to do? Give hugs to yourself. Yeah, it seems to be weird, but take care of you. When you say to someone, take care of you, take care of yourself, this is really important. Put into practice. This is a recommendation. Take a bath, take massage, take sauna, take whatever, but take time for you. Dress up. You know, a lot of men, they are jealous, and they think when the woman is dressing up or just to go out or just to make up, is to seduce. No. It's just to feel well. Do the same. Even if you are a man, you can do and stay at home. Cut your beard, shave yourself. I don't know. Put some, some creams or whatever. But in front of the mirror, say to you, "I love you," but sincerely, and many times like this. You know, it's linked to Masaru Emoto experiments. With the rights or basically with either. Okay, with the rights, when you have bad intention, like I hate you, it's the rice becomes after a few days black. Okay, like moisture and so on is disharmonious, and even if you see with the microscope. And on the other way around, when you give a love, for instance, it's radiating, and it's beautiful patterns and harmonious patterns. We are made of 70%. When every time you watch at you in the mirror and you say, "Oh, I'm so ugly," and so on, we feel that. I mean, unconsciously, people will, I don't know, I don't feel him, and so on. You know, it's the same principle when, two examples, when you have someone not really as pretty or as handsome as most of people think, but the person is radiating, the person is well at ease and so on, and you appreciate the vibration, the presence of this person. You know, it's like compared to a pale, a model like this without any soul, compared to this kind of person radiating. It's the same principle. On the other way around, it's like the Murphy law. Some people say is a joke, is an example, but like imagine I'm single for many years, and the day I meet someone and I'm in love, a lot of women look at me. For instance, it's fiction, of course. Actually, it's not to annoy you. It's not universe want to piss you off. It's not Murphy law. It is just because now you're in love. It means that you are light, enlightened. You're light and you fly, okay, in a certain extent. Before, maybe you're frustrated to be single, you're shy, you're hesitating and so on. So you were invisible, and you had low vibration. So this is important to do self-reset or self-reprogrammation with that, with auto-suggestion, like Koe mythology, like I love myself. Put some post-it if you want on your in little places in your home, or do a tattoo, I don't know, or write on your hand, but try to figure out and to repeat ceaselessly. I mean, the most as many times you want. So for me, loving each other and the message of Christ, actually, if all is one, okay, love yourself first. This is the most important. I really invite you to think and to apply what's vibrate within you, but to think about that. Do I love myself or not? Yes, no, what's the percentage? And try to work on it, because this is important, and everything in the law of attraction. When we open up, let's say, the door of light and love, we invite subtly other people to do so. I invite you to meditate on that and to apply what's vibrating or not. and I hope it will help you to shape the master key of consciousness, the field of consciousness, the field of love, of whatever you want. As you know, all roads lead to Rome and to the Dome. Thank you for your attention, and see you very soon.